Sometimes the simplest choices have the biggest consequences. We're about to dive into a story, a powerful parable, really, that shows us just that. It's got magic, unbelievable wealth, and it all hangs by a single, very fragile thread.
So, that really brings us to the central question, doesn't it? How can one tiny condition, one little string attached to an amazing gift, be the difference between creating a paradise or, well, unleashing total chaos? Let's jump in and see what happens.
All right, so our story kicks off in a pretty humble place, like a lot of great tales do. But don't let that fool you, because a truly miraculous discovery is about to turn one farmer's world and his entire village completely upside down. So, picture this. You've got this poor farmer working his field day in and day out. It's just another afternoon until, clink, his shovel hits something. But it's not a rock. It's this small, shining, beautiful blue Rudraksha. Just a little thing. But as you're about to see, this tiny bead is a huge deal. So he takes it home, right? And he places it by this little shrine he has for Lord Shiva. And then, that night, something wild happens. The bead starts to glow, brighter and brighter, until it just bursts open, and out comes, well, it's not a seed. It's a tiny, magical bull, a Nandi, with these incredible golden horns. Just imagine seeing that. Okay, so the farmer is, as you can imagine, completely floored. But this little magical creature, oh, it's not just there to look amazing. It's got an offer on the table, an incredible one. But, and this is the big but, it comes with one very, very important condition. And this, right here, is the heart of the whole story. Then the Nandi speaks, and its voice just booms with this divine energy. It lays out the deal, crystal clear. I can make you rich beyond your wildest dreams, it basically says. Anything you give me, you'll get back 100 times over. So what's the catch? It's simple, but it's everything. You can never ask for anything for yourself. So let's break this down. The pact is super simple. Step 1, you feed the Nandi. Step 2, you get this mind-blowing 100x return. And step 3, the golden rule. Keep yourself out of the equation. This thing isn't some magical cash machine, It's really a test of your heart, a test of generosity. And you know what? At first, the farmer totally gets it. He understands the deal. And what happens next? Wow, it's a time of just unbelievable good fortune. We're talking a literal rain of gold. So the farmer, he heard the rules and he takes them to heart. He goes into his house and grabs his very last handful of rice. That's it. That's all the food he has left. And he gives it to Nandi. Think about that for a second. What an incredible leap of faith, right? Giving away your last meal on a promise. And boom, the payoff is instant. It's absolutely overwhelming. A true chamatkar, a miracle. That one little handful of rice, it's multiplied 100 times over, and suddenly his entire house is overflowing. Filled to the roof with grains of pure gold. So what's the first thing this farmer does? Does he lock the doors and count his gold? Nope, not at all. He sells the golden rice, takes all that new money, and immediately starts handing out food and supplies to everyone in his village. He's honoring the spirit of the deal, right? He's sharing the miracle. But, well, you know how these stories go. All that good fortune, all that light, it can cast a pretty dark shadow. And that shadow has a name: greed. This is where things start to go very, very wrong. So you've got these two totally different mindsets, right? You have the father, who's completely selfless. He gave away his last meal, and then he shared everything he got back. But then there's the son. He's been watching all this happen, and all he sees is a shortcut to getting what he wants. So he sneaks off to Nandi and makes a demand, just for himself. I want a golden palace. And just like that, it's over. With that one selfish ask, the sacred pact is broken. That single, simple rule, the one thing holding this whole miracle together, has just been completely ignored. The result is instant, and it's absolutely terrifying. That tiny, magical Nandi starts to change. It gets bigger and keeps growing until it's as huge and scary as a mountain. All that divine magic is just twisted into pure rage. And the wealth? Whew. Gone, just as fast as it came. All that golden rice, all the money, all the prosperity, it turns to dust in an instant. The magic is completely undone. But it doesn't just stop there. Oh, no. This enraged, mountain-sized Nandi goes on a rampage. And its anger isn't just aimed at the farmer's family. It's unleashed on the whole village. The very same people who were just getting food and help because of the farmer's good heart. Just awful. So now everything's gone. It's total chaos. The poor farmer is at his wit's end, and he's only got one hope left, one last place to turn. And this brings us right to the story's big divine climax. He's just completely desperate, totally heartbroken. He runs as fast as he can to the local temple of Lord Shiva. He's weeping, he's pouring water over the Shiva lingam, and he is just praying with every ounce of his being for help, for some way to stop this nightmare his son created. And guess what? His prayers are answered. Suddenly, there's this blinding flash of light that just rips across the sky. And out of that light, Lord Shiva himself appears. He sees everything, the chaos, the destruction caused by his own servant, Nandi. And Shiva doesn't hesitate. He acts, and he acts fast. He takes his powerful trident, the Trishula, and strikes the ground. This wave of divine energy washes over the enraged Nandi, and it just calms him instantly. He starts shrinking, smaller and smaller, all the way back down until he's just that little blue Rudraksha bead again. And just like that, the chaos is over. And the sun, he sees all of this. He sees a god appear. He sees the mess he made, and the reality of his selfish demand just hits him like a ton of bricks. He's completely filled with remorse. He just drops to his knees and begs for forgiveness for all the destruction his greed caused. So that leaves us with this one big question to think about, doesn't it? What was the real treasure in this story? Was it the gold? Or was it the farmer's willingness to give? I mean, the story really seems to say that the magic wasn't just in the bowl. It was in the farmer's selflessness. The second that was gone, replaced by greed, everything else, the treasure, the magic, all of it disappeared too. It kind of makes you ask yourself, where does our real wealth come from?